What's really incredible about resilience is how it shapes us in ways we never see coming. Imagine being thrown into the world where everything you know is stripped away: your home, your safety, even your ability to choose your own future. That's exactly what happens in Shu, Now and Then, Here and There. He's just a regular kid, yet he's suddenly pulled into a brutal, war-torn world. He refuses to let despair define him. His journey is one of survival, hope, and the kind of determination that makes you question how far you're going to protect what truly matters. When I was crafting this episode, I kept thinking about the times in my own life when I had to push forward, even when the odds were against me. By the end of today's episode, you'll see how resilience isn't about enduring hardships. It's about finding strength when you have every reason to give up. If you ever wonder how to keep hope alive in the darkest moments, well, welcome back, Zeroku fam. I am Michael Yearby, your host here at Zeroku Podcast Network. And I just want to take a moment to thank you for being here. Every time we come together, we're not just talking about anime, we're diving deep into the lessons that push us to grow. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like everything was going against you, but somehow you kept going? That's what resilience is all about. And today we're going to break down the lenses of Now and Then, Here and There. This is Momentum Mondays, where we explore anime stories that fuel personal growth, and I'm here to bring you the insights from our journey as personal development expert and anime junkie. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like, and share, because trust me, this is one that's gonna go deep, really deep. Last week on Momentum Mondays, we explored leadership and legacy through the roles of Versailles. We talked about how Oscar's internal struggle between duty and identity revealed the true cost of leadership, whether Marie's downfall shows us what happens when leaders lose touch with those they serve. If you missed that episode, make sure to check it out. It's packed with lessons that can help you redefine what it means to lead with courage and integrity. What we're diving in today is the power of resilience. First, we'll break down how Shu's unwavering determination in the face of absolute despair teaches us that real strength isn't about being the strongest, it's about refusing to quit. Then, we'll explore the brutal realities of the world in Now and Then, Here and There, and how adversity shapes who we become. And finally, we'll look at the deeper lessons why holding onto hope, even when it seems impossible, is the ultimate act of resilience. All right, strap in, because we're about to step into a world of the most emotionally intense anime story out there. And trust me, Now and Then, Here and There has some serious lessons to teach us about resilience. Point 1. Resilience is the face of hopelessness. You won't believe this, but Now and Then, Here and There throws the protagonist Shu into one of the bleakest and most unforgiving anime settings imaginable. The story starts in modern day Japan, but within moments, Shu is ripped from his world and thrown into a dystopian nightmare, a barren wasteland ruled by a tyrant named Hamdo. There's no safety, no comfort, and certainly no way back home. From the very beginning, he beats, imprisons, and stripped from everything familiar, yet he never stops fighting. What makes Shu's journey so powerful is the sheer brutality of his circumstances. He's captured, forced into child soldier camp, and faced relentless violence, but he refuses to give in. He's surrounded by kids who have been broken down, stripped of their humanity, yet he's holding on to his kindness, his optimism, and he believes that he can make things better. This reminds me of the times in my own life when I was thrown into situations that felt impossible, moments where everything was against me, yet I had to keep pushing forward. In those moments, it wasn't about having a perfect plan. It wasn't about making the decisions to keep going, no matter what. Shu teaches us that resilience isn't about avoiding hardships. It's about facing it head on and refusing to let it define you. Point 2. Refusing to become like the world around you. Here's something that blew my mind. Shu is thrown into the world where survival means becoming ruthless, yet he never let the cruelty around him change who he is. The soldier in Hamdo's army are kids just like him, but they've been brainwashed, beaten, and forced into violence. They lost a sense of right and wrong, their ability to dream of something much better. But Shu, He refuses to fall in that cycle. He won't kill, he won't submit, and no matter how many times he's knocked down, he gets back up. This hurts me because I know what it's like to be surrounded by negativity and pressure to conform. Growing up in Miami during the crack epidemic, I saw firsthand how it is easy for people to get pulled into dangerous cycles. And honestly, I was offered to sell crack and weed at a young age. I had friends who made choices that led them down paths they couldn't escape from. The easy road is often the one that takes the most from you. But like Shu, I had people looking out for me, and I made choices just like he did to hold on to my values no matter what. His story is a reminder that no matter how dark things get, you always have a choice. Let the world break you or stand firm in who you are. Point 3. Fighting for something bigger than yourself. You won't believe this, but even after everything he's been through, Shu still risks everything to protect others. He doesn't just focus on surviving, he fights for Sarah, he fights for Lalaru, and every other innocent person trapped in Hamdo's twisted world. Even when he has every reason to turn his back to say, "This isn't my fight," he steps up. That's the kind of selflessness is rare, especially when survival is on the line. This reminds me of the moments in my own life when I had to put others before myself, even when it was tough. Whether it was in the military or just navigating challenges in leadership, I learned that resilience isn't just about getting through your own struggles, it's about lifting others up along the way with you. Shu teaches us that real strength comes from standing for something bigger than yourself. He proves that even in the world designed to break him, he still has the power to protect what truly matters. Now that we've seen how Shu's unbreakable determination shapes his journey, let's dive into the harsh reality of the world around him and how adversity forces us to grow in ways we never expected. Point 4. Surviving in a world that doesn't care. You won't believe this, but now and then, here and there, paints one of the most unforgivable worlds in anime history. This isn't a fantasy where heroes always win and where justice prevails. This is a world where surviving is the norm and survival is a daily battle. The land is barren, water is scarce, and the dictator Hamdo rules with an iron fist, using children as soldiers to wage war. No one cares about Shu's pain. No one offers him a way out. He is completely alone in a world that is indifferent to his suffering. This reminds me of times in my own life when I had to face harsh realities with no easy solutions. Whether it was growing up in Miami where violence and struggle were everywhere, or my time in the military where the environment didn't care if you were tired, hungry, or struggling, you had to find a way to push through. Shu's journey teaches us a hard but necessary lesson. Life isn't always fair and no one is coming to save you. But even in the worst circumstances, you can choose how you respond. Don't let the world crush you, or do you keep fighting? Ladies, there is no such thing as a Prince Charming. That is in fairy tales, and fairy tales alone. No one is saving you. And if you want someone to save you, that means you're giving up the freedoms and the rights you have come across. So please, think before you say things like you're looking for someone to save you. Men, no one is going to save you in this world. That's a hard reality that you have to face. You're going to have to stand 10 toes on what you say and what you do, your values. You are only valued and worth for what you can bring to the table. And that's in anything in life. So make sure you're successful in all that you do. Make sure your word is your bond and you live by it. Make sure you're not easily tempered with anger and everything else that people in the world says you have to be and have to do. I'm going to get off my soapbox now, but I'm just letting you guys know that this lesson is so important for you to learn. And if you don't learn it, you're going to have a very hard and difficult life. Point 5, the cost of losing hope. Here's something that blew my mind. Most of the characters in Now and Then, Here and Now, they are already lost hope before the story even begins. They've been beaten down, brainwashed, and conditioned to believe that life will never get better. Sarah, for example, is a girl who, like Shu, was taken from her home and thrown into this hellish world. But unlike Shu, she doesn't have an unshaken optimism. She falls into despair, believing that there's no way out. And honestly, who could blame her? I've seen the same thing happen in real life where people face too much hardship. Some start believing that change is impossible and knowing people how get stuck in those cycles of struggle because they stopped believing that they had the power to change their situation. They decided to end their lives. I'll just be honest with you guys. I have witnessed and been around people who I talked to and had no clue that they was going to commit suicide because they was facing a hardship that they thought they couldn't get past. And I was able to get with people and help people before they committed suicide. And that was really a blessing to my heart. So make sure no matter what you're going through, you have resilience. That's why this lesson is so important to share with your friends and family and people you know. Not just going through a hard time, but give them the tools so that they can recognize a hard time. All right? And that's why Shu stands out. He refuses to lose hope, even when there's no logical reason to believe things will get better. His story is a reminder that the second you stop believing in a better future, you are already lost. Point 6. Finding meaning in the struggle. You won't believe this, but despite everything he goes through, Shu never gets off his beliefs that life has meaning. He doesn't just fight to survive, he fights to become and believes that protecting others is worth it. He finds purpose in his struggle, and that's what keeps him going. Even in the bleakest moments, he holds on to the core belief kindness and hope matter, no matter how dark the world gets. This lesson hits me so hard because I had moments when I questioned if the struggle was even worth it. Whether I was dealing with setbacks in my career or personal challenges that made me want to throw in the towel. I've learned that struggle itself isn't the enemy. It's how we respond to it that defines us. Shu's story shows us that hardships can either break you or shape you into something stronger. It's all about how you choose to see it. Now that we explored how adversity shapes us, let's talk about the final and most important lesson: why hope is the ultimate act of resilience, even when everything tells you to give up. Point 7. Holding on to hope when it feels impossible. You won't believe this, but now and then, here and there, never gives Shu a break. Every time he finds a moment of peace, it's ripped away. He's beaten, starved, and forced to witness unimaginable cruelty. And yet, he never stops hoping. Shu believes against all odds that things can change. Even when there's no logical reason to keep going, he refuses to accept despair as his reality. This reminds me of moments in my own life where hope seemed like the most foolish thing to hold on to. I've been in situations where everything around me said, give up. Whether it would have been easier to just stop trying, stop pushing, stop believing things could be better. But if there's one thing I learned, it's that hope isn't passive. It's a choice. It's a conscious decision to say, I'm still here. I'ma still fight. And sometimes that's the most powerful thing you can do. Point 8. Hope is contagious. Here's something that blew my mind. Shu's hope doesn't just keep him going, it spread it to others. At first, the people around him seen optimism as naive, even foolish. But as the story unfolds, it starts to see that his belief in something better actually inspires the people around him. Sarah, who was ready to give up, starts fighting for herself again. Even Lalaru, who had completely detached from humanity, begins to open up. Shu's unshakable belief in the good of the world starts to change the people around him. I've seen this happen in real life too, whether in leadership or just in personal relationships. When you choose to stay hopeful, it impacts the people around you. I've had moments where my belief in a better outcome was the only thing that kept my team or my friends going. Hope isn't just for you, it's something you pass on. Shu teaches us that choosing to believe in a better future isn't just for yourself, it's a way of giving strength to the people who might not have it yet. Point 9. Resilience is about what you refuse to let go of. You won't believe this, but even after everything he's been through, Shu doesn't change in that way you expect. He doesn't harden. He doesn't become bitter. He doesn't lose himself into violence. He stayed true to who he is. And that's the real message in Now and Then, Here and There. Resilience isn't just about enduring pain. It's about refusing to let the pain turn you into someone you're not. This hit home for me in many ways because I've been in situations where I had to ask myself, am I gonna let this change me? It's easy to let hardships turn you cold, to let struggles make you cynical. But the real challenge, the real strength is choosing to hold on to your values, even when the world tries to take them from you. Shu's story proves that resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about staying true to who you are no matter what. Now that we've seen how hope is the ultimate act actually, of resilience, let's bring it all together and talk about what it means for your own journey. Let me share something unexpected. Resilience isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about how you choose to respond when everything is against you. First, we explore how Shu's determination in the face of unimaginable adversity taught us the real strength isn't about being the strongest, but about the refusing to quit. His relentless will to protect what matters proves that resilience is a mindset, not just a reaction to the struggle. Then we're going to look at the impact of adversity and how the brutal world of now and then, here and there, force its characters to make choices that shape their futures. We saw how hardship can break you and build you, and how choosing to keep going even when hope seems foolish is the difference between those who rise and those who fall. Finally, we uncovered the deeper truth about hope, why it's the ultimate act of defiance. Shu's ability to hold on to his optimism even when logic told him not to doesn't just save him, it inspired the people around him. His story reminds us that hope is a decision. Resilience is a choice, and staying true to yourself in the face of struggle is the ultimate form of strength. So as you go through your own battles, ask yourself, what am I choosing to hold on to? Because the way you respond to adversity today will define the person you will become tomorrow. Resilience isn't about avoiding struggle, it's about what you do when it finds you. Today we broke down Shu's journey in now and then, here and there, and we saw firsthand how adversity can shape, test, and even redefine who you are. We explored how his unshakable determination, the harsh reality of surviving in an unforgivable world, and the power of hope as the ultimate act of resilience. Shu's story teaches us that no matter how dark things get, you always have a choice to give in or keep fighting. This episode wasn't about anime. It was about life. It took deep reflection and personal experiences to bring these lessons to you because I wanted to create something that truly challenged how you see resilience in your own life. The effort was worth it because even if one of you walks away feeling stronger, feeling ready to face your struggles with a new perspective, then the episode did its job. If you got something valuable for today's conversation, support our channel directly by clicking on the links in the description. Thank you for being a part of this journey, for showing up and being part of the Zenroku family. Hit the subscribe button, like this episode, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. You will never know who might need that reminder to keep going. Until next time, when life knocks you down, stand back up, just like Shu. Keep pushing forward because resilience isn't about what you've been through, it's about who you decide to become. Peace.